I have literally tried this video 3 times. All I really want you to know is that you need to make connections with your students. That is the easiest way for you to gain respect and create a positive classroom experience for your kids. Get to know them. So I'm just going to walk you through my student survey that I have my students fill out at the beginning of 2D design. That is my entry-level course. All students have to take it before they take any other art class. So I know, unless they're a transfer student, I know they have done this if they're in one of my other higher level classes. Get to know your students, enjoy learning about them. Walking through the student survey, getting to know your students. This is a great resource for the beginning of the year. So I just want to walk through it and explain kind of what my student survey looks like. So it's a 2-page survey. I wanted to give a lot of room for students to draw. So you can see right here, it says fill in the survey about yourself by drawing, highlighted, your answers in the space provided. Write if there's not an obvious space to draw. So I'm gonna point out where it is that I expect my students to write and where I expect them to draw. You can do it however you would like, but I'm trying to encourage more drawing on the student survey. So starts out obviously with their name, favorite show. I do get some students who do not watch shows, so something that you could say instead is favorite movie. I do not have favorite movie on here anywhere else, so you could say that. If they don't have either of those, maybe favorite podcast. Favorite meal, they can draw what they like to eat there. For this one, I'm just encouraging my students to color it in, whatever their favorite color is. Favorite subject, there is enough space to draw maybe something that shows that subject. For example, math, you could draw like a calculator. For science, you could draw like beakers or animals, something like that. Favorite quote, this is one of the only ones I'm actually having them write out the quote inside of the banner instead of drawing it. Favorite song, I'm going to encourage my students to draw maybe what the album looks like, the album cover, something like that, or you could draw the singer or group or whatever within that CD. Favorite book, definitely encouraging drawing on that one. If your students do not like to read, I know you will have some, you could, if they didn't use favorite movie here, you could do favorite movie here. I want to encourage them to pick a book though. Reading is so important, and so I really want to encourage that. On the back side, dream job, I did a pretty big space there for them to draw. Color your favorite season, that's a given. You just color one of these in, you don't need to draw anything else for that. Favorite animal is going to be drawn right here. I'm going to encourage them to maybe include a background or something like that. And favorite hobby, if it's a sport, if it's an activity, fishing, video games, they would draw that in there. Favorite art material. Some of them will not have had art before, so you might want to make a list on the board as a group, as a class, and then just give them some ideas of what they could use. You can maybe see it's a little faint. It says most excited for in this class, least excited for in this class. I am asking them to write inside of these two. That will help me understand where they are in their mindset for what they're excited about and what they're least excited about, where drawings I can't always interpret as well. I would encourage students to use photo references when they need it, especially animal or a hobby. I understand I am a huge proponent of drawing from real life, but we don't all have elephants or giraffes accessible. So looking at some photographs and drawing this, you could easily make a one-day thing. I teach in block classes, so I would probably start with just one day, a 90-minute block. But depending on what you're asking from them, I'm gonna ask my students to give me their absolute best. That means coloring, that means using color pencils, that means taking their time. Color pencils are my number one thing for this. You can have them use marker. The thing is, when you have a double-sided sheet, color pencil usually works best. I don't normally have crayons at the high school level, so that's why I use color pencils for that. You can find a link to this survey in the description below. I do have a different version that I'm using for my classroom when it comes to favorite quote. I'm using favorite Bible verse. I do not have that version on my TPT store, so if you would like that version, let me know, and I'd be happy to make a version of that on TPT for you.